Hi traders, this is Forex Nelson and I'm back again for another week of trading after a nice extended bit of a long weekend. Today's date is August 31st, last day of the month, and now I've done 3 yen pairs based on yen weakness. The moment is at 6%, so we're selling the yen, and due to the fact, in case you didn't know this, if the yen is on the right side, which it is on all the yen pairs, and if we're selling the yen, that means we're going to be buying whichever yen pairs you feel like trading. And by the way, you could have traded all the yen pairs and make some pips today. Quite easy to do so with the master trigger. I teach exactly how to trade certain pairs. So moving forward, let's run a check on this yen pair, and I took it about 18 minutes after 7. The other one was 24 minutes after, and the other one was at 17 minutes. It was around quarter after 20 after 7 a.m. New York time. So let's just drag and drop this up and see where I got in at. Waiting for a bit of a pullback, and there wasn't very much of a pullback, so I just decided to get in the trade, and for no particular reason other than I was happy when I closed the trade. I know it went a little bit more, but I look down here at the bottom, and when I have a smile on my face, I just close the trades and forget about it. So let's see, got in at this point, closed out the trade, looks like with 16 pips, and 16 pips on the euro yen paid $1,480. And 2 things that you should notice, or at least I notice, is that this is a perfect example of a great way to trade. I know I'm going to get pips on a daily basis, and it didn't go very much against me, so let's run a check. It went 2 pips against me, and so I would call that pretty close to a near perfect timing entries, which is what I also teach within the master trigger. So let's just clear the charts, just reapply the master trigger again. The cursors will disappear, because if you don't do that, it'll interfere with the meter. And remember, don't trade without a meter. Meter is very important. So let's just drag and drop the next pair I took, which happens to be the Swiss yen. Just drag it up and drop it. It'll change the charts. This is another almost perfect entry right here. Got in, closed out the trade. I know it went a little bit more, but not a big deal. Looks like this one gave me 20 pips, and 20 pips paid $1,829. You're looking at another perfect example of a great way to trade. Has a very high success rate. You do have to follow the rules within the training videos, but if you get a system and you're going through it, so you're doing the homework, which only takes a week to do, it's not that long. Go through the videos a couple of times, I recommend, and then paper trade for 2 or 3 weeks, and somewhere between around 6 weeks, you should master it. I'm not saying you will, but you should master it. And if you're not trading successfully, there's something that you're missing. And that is not, obviously the flow of the market. Remember, it's not the trigger. It's not any system. I went through 700 systems, and it took me a really long time, many years to realize. And I kept jumping around from system and system, thinking, and I used to tell my wife, doesn't anybody sell anything that works? Well, after you spend, tens of thousands of hours and thousands of trades, you will eventually realize you just have to learn how to trade the markets. And the markets do the same thing. It doesn't make any difference which instrument, could be anything at all, as long as it has Japanese candlesticks, so you can trade anything that your platform offers you. And once you learn how the market flows, either up or down, you're just going to get in a trade. And you'll realize this sometime, hopefully in the near future, as opposed to 10 years now. By the way, it took me 8 years just to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So I get traders who pick up the system and they think within 30 to 60 days they're going to be whaling away and trading successfully. But believe me, I've never found a trader could figure it out in 30 to 60 days, especially newbies, new traders. If you've been trading for 5 or 10 years and you've gone through many systems, then my trigger system will speed up the process and you'll find success much faster. And the reason for that is you know how to trade to some degree. Like work your way around the platform. I get traders that don't even know how to read the charts properly. Like things like this. You know, they don't know how many pips that is, you know. So it is what it is, and it does take time to master the platform. So I usually do the euro and the pound. The pound will always give you more pips, just in case you didn't know that, as you can see money-wise down here. And then I'll do the pound, then the euro. And if I feel like doing another couple of trades, then I'll just do another. Could have done the New Zealand yen, the dollar yen. They all did the same thing. So moving right along to the next pair, as I said, it's the one I focus on every day. Pound pairs, here it is right here. Missed the cycle, but I knew that it's not going to break the bottom, so I knew right away that if it's going to do a cycle, it would be 20-25 pips, not a big deal. It wouldn't bother me. And this looks like around 20 pips pullback. And I ended up closing a trade for no particular reason other than it was actually hit the ADR. And when it hit the ADR right here, I looked down at the bottom. I was happy with the totals. And when I'm happy, I closed the trade. And this looks like 27 pips. So I was very happy with that. And of course, those 27 pips paid $2,546. So for grand total of pips today, that was 63 pips, and 63 pips paid $5,857. Another great trading day using a great way to trade. Very, very clear. We're buying. We're not selling. And as I said, off to a great Monday start, beginning of the week. So if your system is not producing like the master trigger, I suggest you get your hands on it. Very easy to do so. All you got to do is look right below this video and you'll see this write up. It's a master trigger system. It's do charge $250. My master trigger system has 3.5 gigabytes of training, and you'll get an exact copy of my system on your MT4 platform. Now it comes with 4 MT4 templates, 8 custom indicators, and my favorite meter. Would not trade without it. Makes trading much, much easier. Now I give a lot of PDF books, a lot of Word documents, and this will be a continuation of your education, which is what you need to succeed at trading the markets. I give a lot of it, as you can see. Now there's a lot of ways to trade. I do teach a lot of ways to trade, and that's why there's 42 training videos, and I threw in 9 bonus videos. My number one and best way to trade, and I pretty much do the same thing almost every day, except for other things I may catch, like news and whatnot, but it's a great way to trade. You're looking at a perfect example of it. Now, all my trigger systems are really good, and the reason I say that is because they all work. They work for me. Doesn't mean it'll work for any other traders, but once you learn how the market moves and flows, any system that you have will automatically start working. This is what you have to learn. And I'm telling you, It's okay to buy systems. There's not a problem with that. But make sure you get a lot of education when, and generally as a rule, if you pay like $97, you're going to get a PDF book. If you spend $5,000, you're going to get a lot more training and videos, and that is what you need. Now, I don't think you have to spend $5,000, but you're going to spend more than $97, guaranteed. So, what makes my master trigger just a bit better than all my other trigger systems is within these 5 topics right here that I teach. Now, in each and every video, I give a lot of advanced trading tips. That's why I recommend. One person who bought it told me that he had to go through the video 7 times before he understood what I was trying to teach. Recommend you to do it multiple times. Go through the videos. I also teach how to get near perfect timing entries. This was not. Obviously, would have been better right in here. And I actually do teach that. But I wasn't too concerned, as it could have just as easily shot straight up. So I got in the trade knowing that if it came back, it would only be about 20 pips. And once you realize that, then you're not scared to take the trade. Like when I take the trade, I'm not worried about it because I know it's going to go up. Traders say, how do you know it's going to go up? Well, because my master trigger or my trigger system is telling me it's going up. It's just a matter of, will I get the timing bang right on? Most of the times, yes. 4 out of 5 times, yes. And sometimes I'll miss it, but I'm not worried about it. I also teach how to stay in the trade for more pips. I could have stayed in the trade because there's no signal down here telling me to close the trade, and I could have made more pips here. But I've got a few things that I got to do. I was happy with the totals, and remember, if you're like me, when you're happy, just close the trade and don't worry about another 20 or 30 pips, because tomorrow is another trading day. As you can see, it's just taking right off. And that is based on easily to tell by the meter. Look, meter's telling you it's going to go up. Don't trade without a meter. If you trade without a meter, kiss your money goodbye. Guaranteed, 100%. Let's see where we're at here. I'll get back to that. Okay, and I also teach how to trade higher time frames, not only on the AO, but I always take a look at a couple of higher time frames. I want to make sure I have the wind at my back. And if you have that, then it's like 99%. Nothing's guaranteed, but it's very, very high that you will succeed. Now, I also teach and show many great trade setups. I teach how to backtest the master trigger. I still did it. Even when I had my so-called weekend off, I still spent at least 6 hours over the weekend in my spare time. 6 to 8 hours. I just pull up the computer and I backtest it. And I keep practicing so that in real time, when I see it, I just take the trade and I know it's going to work. Also teach how to scalp the market, how to scan the market. I teach how to trade the Asian session along with the other 2. Also, I teach how to trade the London close. Also teach how to trade pullbacks, like this is a pullback and it bounces off going with the trend, and if it breaks through and keeps going the opposite direction, I call that a reversal, which I teach. Now I teach also how to trade around the goal line. Look at all these opportunities. Here, all the way across here and here, these are all opportunities. Plenty of them around the goal line. Also teach how to trade the news, more difficult, but you can do it. I recommend a great way to trade. And after you've got a smile on your face and you want to venture and learn how to trade the news, I recommend in a demo account until you figure it out. Also teach how to trade with a day job. I don't have a day job. I don't have any kind of a job. I'm a full-time trader. That's how I make my living. But I do teach in case you have a day job. In other words, you don't have to quit your job. You can trade either before you go to work for a couple hours or when you come home for a few hours. So if you have any questions at all, very easy. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call me or send me an email. Remember, there's an underscore right here. Now, I do prefer Skype. I live on Skype. That is my telephone along with my cell phone. And all you got to do is click on this link and we'll have a connection. And through Skype screen sharing, I'll give you a free session, which will last about 45 minutes, depending on how many questions you have for me. So I believe that just about wraps up this video, and if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So until the next trade, happy trading, and remember, keep yourself and your family safe. Okay, bye for now.